Hey guys, that's Savvy Tech Girl here. I'm going to do a Raspberry Pi unboxing for you. Not only are we going to unbox it, we are also going to, in the next parts, do some setup on it. Okay, we'll put a Raspberry on it. Maybe we'll do Windows 10. So this is the box that you're going to get when you get your Raspberry Pi. Most of the boxes are the same. Some companies do box their own. On the back, you will have the different model numbers. So this is a Raspberry Pi 2 Model B, so it has 1 gig of RAM. Okay, and then we're going to open it up. So let's unbox it. Let's see what we get. So we have a microcomputer. We have quick start guide. Doesn't look so quick to me. Actually, to tell you the truth, I've never read it, but it doesn't look very quick, does it? So you can read it. I would probably suggest, if you've never done it before, you might want to take a quick look through. And then we have a quick start guide. I did look through this briefly, but it does help you. It tells you how to set it up. So it's pretty quick start. It's all in different languages. So for the most part, you're just going to be looking at the one section of it, and that's not too bad. So we've got that. Okay, so those came out of the box. And we have something else in here. What do we have? We have the SD card. So on this SD card, it says, important note, this pre-programmed 8 gigabyte micro SD card may appear as 1 gigabyte when inserted into a PC, as it is pre-partitioned. The remaining space can be expanded as desired. All right, so it is installed with knobs, so new out-of-box software, and that is something that we'll go through in the next stage, okay? So that does come with it, so you're going to need that later on. All right, so we'll just put that aside. This is the Raspberry Pi. Make sure your hands are clean, guys. You don't want to be touching the actual board. You want to be touching the outside of the board. And you just got to be careful. These are static-free bags, so you want to make sure when you're done, put it back in the bag again. If you're not going to be setting it up today, you just want to take a look at it. Okay, excuse my thumbs. I have some injuries on them. All right, guys, so this is the Raspberry Pi. So microcomputer, you can see it's tiny. I don't know if I can get up close here for you. Yeah, there you go. All right, so it has, as you can see, an HDMI input, so that is right here. That's what you'll be connecting your HDMI cable, your output to the input of your monitor or your TV. All right. So we also have the ability here. This is for a display. So if you have maybe a 7-inch LCD display or something, that will actually ribbon cable into here. Okay. Then you have your processor on here. You have the ability to put shields on. So shields are, again, pre-made boards that clip right onto the top. And they may be for certain things. Maybe it's a Wi-Fi shield. They have different options. This is a camera. So you could, again, with a ribbon cable. Right, so right here, this one here, that's for camera. You can see the writing on there. That is for a ribbon cable camera to be connected to. You could use this for even for a home security system. You could use it as a backup camera for your car, maybe. And then we have composite, which is you can get the cable. It's a 3.5 millimeter, and you would want to get the cable to adapt that to your composite in on your system. So if your TV doesn't have HDMI, that's what you would use. Spin it around here. Ethernet, right? So you can see we have an Ethernet cable, and we have 4 USBs. The Raspberry Pi 1 just has 2 USBs, but this one actually has 4. Okay, so you can see that pretty much would do everything that a regular full-size computer would do. And here's your power. This is a micro USB, and that's what we use for our power. My computer has just gone to sleep. So hopefully that was still recording. So that's where you put your power into. All right, guys. It's only low voltage, so 5 volts, between 5 and 10 volts. So if you're connecting it to your car, you're going to make sure you need to tap into something at that voltage. And you also want to make sure it turns off when the system turns off. So that in itself is the micro circuit. This is the micro SD slot. So that's where you will actually be putting this card. Will go into that slot, right? So I'm going to open up this card right now, and then you'll be able to see me put it in there. So it goes in easily. If it's not going in easily, you're not doing it correctly. Make sure you don't break that card. These cards are pretty flimsy, and they can break quite easily. All right, so you're just going to take your micro SD card, and you're just going to slide it in here, and it just clips in. And then to get it out, you just push it in, and it comes back out again. All right, so that is the microcomputer. I'm going to just put that on top of here for now. And then you can get multiple boxes for these, all different types of boxes. So you can see that this one's got room for the USB, the Ethernet. Here's your power, your HDMI, composite, right? Opens up and even shows you on the inside what each area is of the microcomputer. And then we have some little heat sinks. You don't actually need the heat sink. They don't really get that hot, but you know what? They come with it, so it's a good idea. And always put them into the box into the case before you put the heat sink on. So let me just take this, and I'm going to take this. Make sure you take the SD card out because you don't want to put that in yet. Right? I'm going to line it up, so obviously it's only going to go in one way. You just clip it under. Okay. And then I'm going to take the top of it, and it'll just clip on. So again, just be careful when you're clipping it back together. You don't want to break any of the parts. As I say, they're not super. Takes a little bit, but the parts can break easily, so you don't want to mess around with that. Okay, so now you can see where you're going to want to put heat sinks, right? So you're going to put one heat sink into here. So that's on the processor. And the heat sink, all it does is it's like a little radiator, right? So the air goes through, right? So the air comes in and around. Do it up here, maybe you can see it a bit better. So the air comes in and around, and it just disperses the heat. Obviously, heat disperses a lot better off of little fins than it does off of solid metal. Right? So I'm going to just take the back. They just stick on. Nothing too difficult. We just line it up. Hold it on. Okay, put that on there. And then the little one, we're going to do that one too. Just put it on. Okay, that's it. So we've put the heat sinks on. It doesn't matter which way they go. All they're simply doing is dispersing heat. And then I'm going to take the top. You can leave it off if you want. I'm going to take the top and just put the top on. So that is unboxing a Raspberry Pi, guys. In our next video, which I am going to do in a couple of minutes, I'm going to put it up. We're going to show you how to get something onto the Raspberry Pi, because if we plug it in right now, nothing is going to happen. All right, so I'll be back with part 2. Hope you enjoyed that one. Any questions, please send me an email, SAVYTECHGIRL@gmail.com. Please direct message me on Twitter @SAVYTECHGIRL. Find me on Facebook, facebook.com/SAVYTECHGIRL. Obviously, you can get me on my website, SAVYTECHGIRL.com. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Come back and watch part 2, and we'll get this Raspberry Pi set up.